Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Nuta, the Crochet World, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my channel, like, share and comment my videos. And today we are gonna do this lovely and beautiful hat with a puff stitch. And I have started up this project from the bottom. I've done my rib stitches here and then I've joined that rib stitches and have made my single crochets on top of this rib stitches and then have built up this entire project, this beanie. And I hope you're gonna like this video. And for this particular beanie, I have used my 50% of cotton and a 50% of acrylic yarn. The yarn strand is of a 50%. It's a blend, and I've used my 6 mm of the hook, and that's it. So now let's begin. Now this hat is of a medium size and it is about 9.5 inch wide, 9.5 inch wide, and it's 9 inches long or 23 centimeters. And this is a perfect size for a medium size of the hat. If you want a bigger size, a larger size or a smaller size, just reduce your rib stitches and your stitches of your puff stitches as per your requirement. Okay, so now to begin, I've used my 6 mm of the hook and my 100% cotton yarn, and because I don't have a chunky yarn, I have taken up 2 strands of yarn together. So you can use a chunky yarn which requires 6 mm of the hook, or you can take 2 strands of yarn together and can do it. So now let's begin. Now to begin, let's have a slip knot here like this and chain up 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 and 11. So I've chained up 11 here, and I'm gonna do, for my first row, I'm gonna do a single crochet on each chain. So to do a single crochet, I'm not gonna work on my first chain and I'm gonna work on my second chain. So insert my hook into my second chain, grab the yarn over and pull your yarn through 2 loops, and that's my first single crochet. And I'm gonna do 10 single crochet all the way until the end of this chain. That's it. So for the first round, I've done my I've chained up 11 and then I've inserted my hook into the second chain, and I have done my 10 single crochets for this round number 1. For round number 2, I'm going to chain up 1 and we'll turn my work and we'll do a single crochet but back loop only. So this is my chain 1, and I'm going to insert my hook into this first stitch, and I'm going to insert my hook into my back loop only. So instead of putting my hook into both the loops like this, I'm going to insert my hook into this back loop only. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make my single crochets, and I'm keep on doing this until the end of this row, and I'm gonna have my 10 single crochets back loop only for this round number 2. And we are gonna do the same thing. We are gonna repeat our round number 2 or row number 2 until my next 60 rounds. So in total we are gonna have 60 rounds, 60 rows, and we are gonna repeat this row number 2. So from row number 2 to row number 60, have your single crochets back loop only, and that will create our rib stitch here. That's it, my 10 single crochets, and I'm going to chain up 1 and will turn my work. And for this round number 3, I'm gonna again repeat my round number 2. So I'm gonna do my back loop single crochets and keep on doing this until your row number 60, and I'm gonna meet you after that, after my row number 60. Okay, so after my 60 rounds, my work look like this, and now we are gonna join our work. So just join it this way. Now I'm going to chain up 1 here after my 60 round. This is my chain 1, and I'm going to attach my work like this, and I'm going to take my back loop from this my previous round, which is my number 60, round number 60. I'm going to take the back loop only and will insert my hook into this first chain like this. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make my slip stitch here like this. And pull your yarn through all 3 loops and keep on doing this, and by the end of this round you're gonna have your round number 61. You are gonna have your 10 slip stitches. And remember, I'm taking back loop from my round number 60 and making a slip stitch. I'm attaching this both the work. I'm gonna meet you after that. Okay, so after my 10 slip stitches, my work look like this, and from the back it looks like this. Is gonna be all right. Now here, chain up 1 like this, and you're gonna have 1 single crochet. Because we are working on this side now, we are gonna have 1 single crochet on each row, and we are end up having our 60 single crochets by the end of this row. So just insert your hook, because this is your first row. So insert your hook into this row somewhere here, grab your yarn and make a first single crochet, and you can put a stitch marker here if you want. This is your second row, so insert your hook into this like this, grab your yarn and make a single crochet like this. Now this is your second row, the third row, so insert your hook into this like this and make your single crochet. Again, this is your fourth row, and make a single crochet here, and keep on doing this. Keep on making your single crochet on each row, and you are gonna have your 60 single crochets for this round. And I'm gonna count this as round number 1 for this side rounds, as we have done our 60 rounds here. Now we have ended this portion, and we are going to start building our hat from here. So this is our round number 1, and for the round number 1 we are gonna have our 60 single crochets by the end of this round, and keep on doing this, and I'm gonna meet you after that. Okay, so at the end of this round number 1, I have my 60 stitches here, and I'm gonna insert my hook into my first stitch like this. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make a slip stitch here. Now remember, we have done our slip stitch here, so do not forget to turn your work. Turn your work, chain up 1 and turn your work like this. Always remember to turn your work, because that's gonna be your front portion, and now you're gonna build up your design on this, your puffs on this front portion. We are gonna tie up this thing later on, this loose ends. Now for round number 2, we have chained up 1 here and we have turned our work. That's gonna be our front work. And for this round number 2, just have your hook a little bit loose like this. Do not be too tight. Have your hook a little bit loose like this. Do not be too loose as well. Just a little bit like this. Yarn over and insert your hook into this space. Now you can see that we have done our slip stitch here. That's our slip stitch, and we are gonna insert our hook exactly at the same point where we have done our slip stitch. So just insert your hook like this and grab your yarn and have your yarn in this position, and you're going to have your 3 loops on your hook, 1, 2 and 3. And this is for the one time what we have done, and we are going to do the exact same thing for another 4 times. So yarn over for another second time, insert your hook, grab your yarn, that is for 2 times, yarn over and grab your yarn, and that is for the 3 times, yarn over and insert your hook and grab your yarn, and that's going to be your 4 times. And for the last time, yarn over and insert your hook into that same spot and grab your yarn, and you are going to have your hook in this position. And we have done it. We have yarn over and inserted our hook into that same stitch for 5 times. Now for the last time, yarn over and pull your yarn through all your loops like this. Chain 1, and this is your first puff stitch. Now for this second stitch, the second single crochet what we have done, we are not going to work on this, so skip that second stitch, and into this third stitch we are going to have our another puff stitch here. So yarn over and insert your hook into that third stitch, grab your yarn, and we're going to do it for the 5 times. So this is for the first time what we have done. For the second time, yarn over and insert your hook and grab your yarn, yarn over and insert your hook and grab your yarn. For the third time, yarn over for the fourth time, insert your hook and grab your yarn, and yarn over for the fifth and the last time and insert your hook and grab your yarn like this, and yarn over and pull your yarn through all your loops, and you are gonna have your puff stitch. Now chain 1, skip the next stitch again, and into the stitch after that we are gonna do our another third puff stitch, and we are keep on doing this until the end of this round number 2, and keep on doing this, and by the end of this round number 2, you're gonna have your 30 puff stitches. This 30 puff stitches, as you have 60 stitches on your round number 1, you are gonna work on one stitch and then you're gonna skip the other stitch, so you're gonna have your 30 puff stitches, and I'm gonna meet you after that. And here it is. This is gonna be my last puff stitch for my round number 2. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Yarn over and pull your yarn through all the loops and chain 1, and I'm having my 30 puff stitches here. Now I'm gonna insert my hook into my first puff stitch. You can see that chain 1 here. I'm gonna insert my hook into that stitch, grab the yarn and make a slip stitch here like this, and that is the end of my round number 2. Now you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 30. So that's my 30 puff stitches. Now for round number 3, yarn over and insert your hook into this back space. This is the chain 1, your last chain 1, and insert your hook into this space between these 2 puffs. This is your first puff and this is your last puff. So insert your hook into that space or chain 1 space, grab your yarn and have your hook in this position. You're going to have your 3 loops and do it for another 4 times. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 4. So in total we have yarn over and inserted our hook into this space for 5 times. Now yarn over and pull your yarn through all the loops, and that's gonna be your first puff stitch for your round number 3. And your second puff stitch would be here on chain 1 space between this first and second puff. So yarn over and insert your hook into this space, grab your yarn and do it for 5 times. So it's 2, 3, 4 and 5, and pull your yarn through all the loops, and that's your second puff, and keep on repeating it. So we are going to do this round number 2 until our round number 6. So as this is round number 2 and this is round number 3, we are working on round number 3 right now. Do your round number 4, round number 5 and round number 6, and I'm gonna meet you after my that round number 6. So I'm gonna meet you after that, and each round you're gonna have your 30 puff stitches. So keep on doing this, keep on repeating it, and I'm gonna meet you after my round number 6. Okay, so the end of my round number 6, my work looks like this. And for round number 7, we are gonna make 4 puffs here for the very first. So let's start doing it. I'm doing round number 7 now. So yarn over and insert your hook into your backspace and grab your yarn. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and yarn over and pull your yarn through all your loops and chain 1 for the second puff. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and that's it, chain 1. That's your 3 puffs. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and that's your 4th puff. Now for the 5th puff, we are going to reduce our work here. So to reduce our work, yarn over and insert your hook into your next chain 1 space. So it's, and grab your yarn. So it's 1, do it for second time. So it's 2, and do it for third time like this, and you're going to have your work like this. Now yarn over and insert your hook into your next chain 1 space like this. Grab your yarn for the one time. For the second time, yarn over and insert your hook and grab your yarn. And for the third time, yarn over and insert your hook and grab your yarn. So we have done a yarn over for 3 times here and 3 times here, and we are gonna make 1 puff here. So again, yarn over and pull your yarn through all the loops like this, chain 1, and that's gonna be our puff in decrease. Now for the next chain 1 spaces for the 4 times, let's make 1 puff into each chain 1 space. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 4. We are going to do our 1 puff stitch into each chain 1 space, and into this 2 chain 1 spaces after our 4 chain 1 spaces, we are going to make a decrease just like this, and we are going to keep on repeating it. And at the end of this round number 7, we are going to have our 25 puff stitches, and I'm going to meet you at the end. Okay, so I have done my 24 stitches here, 24 puff stitches here, and I'm going to make my last puff stitch, and I'm going to make a decrease of it. So yarn over, it's 1, 2 and 3, and here again it's 1, 2 and 3. Yarn over and pull your yarn through all your loops like this, and chain 1 and insert your hook into your first chain 1 and make a slip stitch here. So this is your end of round number 7, and you're gonna have your 25 stitches, 25 puff stitches on this round number 7. For round number 8, we are again gonna decrease the puff stitches. So we are gonna have 3 puff stitches here, and then we are gonna make a decrease. So let's yarn over and insert our hook into our back chain and grab your yarn. You're gonna have 3 loops and make a puff stitch here. So it's gonna be 2, 3, 4, and 5, and pull your yarn through all the stitches, and that's your first puff stitch for round number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's our second puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's our third puff stitch. Chain 1, and now we are going to make a decrease here. So as we have done in the round number 7, yarn over and insert your hook and grab your yarn. So it's 1, 2, and 3. And again in this chain 1 space we are going to do our 3 yarn overs. So 1, 2, and 3, and that is how we are going to decrease our stitch. So yarn over and pull your yarn through all the stitches and keep on doing this. So have your 3 puff stitches into your next 3 chain 1 space. So it's 1, 2, and 3, and then into the next 2 chain 1 spaces make a decrease. So make 1 puff stitch here, and keep on doing this, and by the end of this round number 8, we're gonna have our 20 puff stitches, and I'm gonna meet you after that. Okay, so at the end of my round number 8, my work looks like this. Now for the round number 9, have your 2 puff stitches. So it's gonna be your 1 puff stitch here, your first puff stitch, and then you're gonna make your another puff stitch here at your chain 1 space, and then we're gonna make a decrease. So let's start doing it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1. So that's going to be your 2 puff stitches, and for the third puff stitch we're going to make a decrease here. So yarn over, insert your hook into this next chain 1 space. 1, 2, and 3, and into the next chain 1 space. Again yarn over and grab your yarn. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Now yarn over and pull your yarn through all your stitches, and that's your decrease, and keep on doing this. So next 2 chain 1 spaces make your 1 puff stitch into your each chain 1 space, and then make a decrease. So on the third and fourth stitch you are going to make a decrease of your puff stitch, and by the end of this round number 9, you're going to have your 15 puff stitches, and I'm going to meet you at the end of this round. Okay, so at the end of my round number 9, I have my 15 puff stitches and my work looks like this. Now for the round number 10, we're going to make 1 puff stitch and then 1 decrease. So let's start doing our 1 puff stitch. So it's going to be your first yarn over, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over and pull your yarn through all the loops and chain 1, and here we're going to make our decrease. So yarn over, 1, 2, and 3, and here again 1, 2, and 3, and pull your yarn through all your loops like this and chain 1. And that's it. So for round number 10, keep on doing this: one puff stitch and one decrease, one puff stitch and one decrease, and by the end of this round we are going to have our 10 puff stitches, and I'm going to meet you at the end here. Okay, so the end of my round number 10, my work looks like this, and it's gonna be like this. Now for round number 11, and our round number 11 is gonna be our last round, and we are only gonna make decrease here, no puff stitches, only the decrease. And as we have our 10 stitches here, 10 puff stitches on this round, we are gonna end up having our 5 puff stitches, but all 5 will be decrease. So for that one, for round number 11, just yarn over and insert your hook into your back chain 1 space. Grab your yarn for 1 time, 2, and 3, only 3 times. And here into the next chain 1 space, we are going to make another 3 yarn overs. So 1, 2, and 3, like this, and yarn over and pull your yarn through all your stitches, and all your loops, and your first stitch will look like this. Chain 1, and here again we're going to make decrease. Now it would be better if you put a stitch marker here so that you will understand that this is your first stitch. It's not gonna be that difficult, but still it would be better if you put your stitch marker here. And again we are gonna make a decrease here. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now yarn over and pull your yarn through all your loops, and that's gonna be your second stitch, chain 1. And keep on doing this for another 3 times, and I'm gonna meet you at the end here. And that's it. I've done my last decrease here, and I'm having my 5 puff stitches here, and I have left with no space. This is my first stitch, and that's my last stitch, and I'm gonna now attach my this round. So take out your stitch marker and insert your hook into that stitch, your first stitch. Grab your yarn and make a slip stitch here, and your work looks like this. Now pull your yarn and let's cut the yarn, because this is our last stitch, and you're gonna left with this much of the space here, like this. Always secure your last stitch, so just grab it. Now turn your work and insert a needle here, and attach your work. So to attach the work, it would be better to just put your needle in this way, put it in a circle like this, into each stitch here of your last round, like this, and now pull your yarn this way, and that's gonna attach your work very smoothly like this. If you think you're gonna need another circle, just keep on doing this for the second round as well. And keep on tying up your work. And I guess my work is done. It's enough now. And just I'm gonna make a knot and will insert my this loose ends inside, and I'll see you after that. Okay, so at the end my work looks like this, and now we're gonna make a pom-pom here. So if you want to make a pom-pom, it's fine, we are gonna do it. But if you don't want to make a pom-pom, this is your final product. It's gonna look like this, and there's no flaws. There is no flaws of the design, and it goes on well. It's like this, and that's it. So now let's make a pom-pom here. Okay, now for the pom-pom, I've taken this one piece of plastic. You can have any hardboard, or you can use your fingers as well, so you don't particularly need this one, but I'm using this one. You can put just simply put your yarn around your fingers like this as many times as you can, and just keep going on. I'm gonna use this one, and I'm just gonna put my yarn around this one like this. And just keep on doing this for as thicker you want your pom-pom is. So just keep on doing it. I'm not even counting how many rounds I've been doing, but just keep on doing this. And that's it. I've done this way, and now just cut this one like this and take this out and leave it here. It's not gonna fall, just leave it here like this, and just cut a little bit of piece like this, and just keep this one on it this way, and make it into a center, and just make a knot here like this. Make it a little bit harder and make another knot so that it will not fall off. Tight it really very nice. And these are your yarn, so just keep them aside like this, and that's it. You're gonna cut this both the sides, so just cut both sides. Take your scissors. That's it, and we're gonna do it for the other side as well. Keep this aside, yeah, just put it around your fingers and keep it aside, and that's it. Your pom-pom is kind of ready. Now all you have to do is even out your circle. So just like this. It will be a little bit messy here, but it's gonna look good. And that's it. That's it, and I guess your pom-pom is ready. All you can do is just puff a little bit, puff for about like 5 minutes, and your all this strings of yarn will fall apart, and it will be a great looking pom-pom. So just keep on doing this for a few minutes, and you're gonna be all right. And here it is. I'm gonna insert my this is a smaller hook here, and I'm gonna go here on the top, and like this. It's gonna be like this, and ends are here. And now I'm going to attach this pom-pom here. It's attached here. I'm going to attach it here, and I'm going to meet you after that. And that's it. My work looks like this. I hope you have liked my today's tutorial. If you have liked, please like, share and comment to my videos, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you into the next video. Till then, bye.